It is highly likely that whatever mistakes you're making in this game are going to be the same mistakes you're making in other games as well. Now, keep in mind, as I said, that you want to pick carries who can participate in kills early on, and you want to pick carries who can have a bigger game impact in the earlier to mid game. And you want to be able to TP into different lanes and be able to help those lanes really, really quickly and have a better impact in those games. However, what I'm gonna teach you about Terrorblade here is how to play Terrorblade in your bracket to the most efficient to the most effectiveness as possible. Right? What we're gonna play Terrorblade. We're gonna play Terrorblade as a super fast pushing hero. You're not gonna fight. You're not gonna try to do any funky stuff. You're gonna push, and that's all you're gonna do. The item build should be drums, going drums. Dragonlance is a good item for stats, so you're going very stat heavy. Dragonlance, I think you can skip out Dragonlance. You can just go with drums. So you're gonna have treads, drums, Ring of Aquila. You're gonna have a Poor Man's Shield. You're gonna have a raindrops, and then as soon as you have that, then you're gonna start making your manta. Once you have manta, then you're gonna swap out your raindrops. You're gonna start making Skadi, and hopefully by that time the game should be over. And the way you're gonna play is you're gonna constantly be pushing the towers. You're gonna make space for your team by taking towers because nobody can do anything about you taking towers. You take towers so fast, you take towers so quickly, and you have such a big impact in the game. In fact, I'm almost inclined to show you. I'm almost inclined to. Okay, after this session, I'm gonna play an unranked game. I'm gonna play Terrorblade, and I might lose that game, but I'm gonna actually show you exactly the way I want you to play in your games. Right? I'm just gonna play a super aggressive pushing style Terrorblade, and then I want you to try that in one of your games and see if that doesn't work out for you super well. Now, what you looking at your starting items, you have really high armor, which is really fantastic. You like 40% less attack resistance, physical resistance. However, you are first of all, you started the game really late. You wanted to start the game as soon as possible because you want to go out as soon as possible. You want to be here. You want to make sure that if your mid laner is not here, then you want to get the rune. Regardless, you want to be here for making sure none of the offlaner comes here and puts their ward here. And secondly, you don't want to start off with a quelling blade. You want to start off with a stout shield. Always 100%. You want to start off with a stout shield. And what you can do is, first of all, you want to make sure you know who is your offlaner. And if you can't just tell right away who the offlaner is going to be, then you want to have a worst case scenario. So looking at this lineup, most likely Queen of Pain is in the mid lane, so that's nothing to worry about. This guy is in the carry lane, that's not anything to worry about. This guy is going to be in carry lane supporting the Juggernaut as well. Oh man, I'd love to see Storm Spread. Oh well. So in the off lane, the worst situation for you could be a Venomancer and a Mirana, and that is a really tough lane for you because that is a shit ton of harass. If you go into this lane right now and there is a Venomancer and Mirana, you lose the lane. You lose the lane right away simply because you have absolutely nothing defensive. You have no stout shield. You have one set of regen which you're going to burn through in like 1.5 to 2 minutes and you're going to be left with in the lane all by yourself without any sort of regen and nothing to regen up, and you're going to be taking shit ton of harass, and you're basically not going to be able to farm at all. So you definitely want to start off with a stout shield always. And then you ideally, if it is an easy lane, if it's just a single offlaner that you think you're not going to have a hard time with, yeah, just start off with a tango and then think about something else. And if it is going to be a hard lane, then you want to start off with 2 sets of tangos. These days, one of the most common builds to go for is a tango, a salve, and a stout shield. And then you have 190 gold left over, so you quickly run here. First 10 seconds the game starts, you can buy your quelling blade right away, and then you go back to the lane. However, this particular game, because of this I would have waited to see who my offlaners were going to be, and if in truly it was going to be a Venomancer plus a Mirana, then I would have actually saved up my 190 gold, not for the Quelling Blade, but immediately I would have gotten a Slippers of Agility, and as soon as I get another 150 gold, I would have gotten my full Poorman Shield. So I would have ended up with a Tango Salve and a full Poorman Shield. Now, these Ironwood branches give you 2 stats each. Now, that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all with your starting gold. You really need other things rather than just these 2 ironwood branches. Sure, if you've got everything else and you've still got 100 gold left over, sure, buy the ironwood branches. But the thing is that right now you will need a lot more. Like, one set of regen just is not enough. It just isn't. Like, this 75 burst heal, it's whatever. It's not that much. Looks like it's the complete opposite of the lanes. Looks like it's going to be a Juggernaut and a Lich. Now, in case of a Juggernaut and Lich, it's quite similar to, well, it's better than the Veno and Mirana. It's definitely better. You're not going to get harassed that much, but you are going to get harassed a fair bit. So once again, coming into this lane, Tango, this one Tango is not going to be enough for you, especially if this Lich is smart and he keeps harassing you, then it's gonna get really, really tough for you. Once again, we will see in this lane, you're gonna have a hard time staying in this lane because you're gonna get nuked a lot. You're gonna get nuked a lot. Yeah, definitely having Dazzle in your lane helps out a lot, but it's not gonna help you out that much. Second thing, leveling up. Well, I want to talk about leveling up right now, and I'm going to talk about your item choice afterwards. So you leveled up your Conjure Image. Now, Conjure Image is a great ability, but what are you using it for? You're using it to tank creeps. You're making up for the fact that you don't have a Stout Shield or a better item, which is a Poor Man Shield, to tank up these creeps, right? You're making up for that fact. How long did that image last for? Exactly. That image lasted for, first of all, we're not going to even talk about the damage it dealt because it deals about 30% more damage. So 30% of 53 is what, 15 extra damage? So if you're using it to help you last hit, it's completely wasted. So you brought it out at 46 seconds and it is dead 6 seconds later, right? It's literally, you used an extra image to tank about 6 seconds of 3 creeps. And that's 70 mana gone. And you have nothing in your inventory to give you mana regen. And if you keep doing this, it is the worst sort of like efficiency that you can have. Instead, you could have bought a Poor Man Shield, which would have given you 6 damage from the agility. It would have given you it would have basically allowed you to just stand here and tank a whole creep wave without taking a single shred of damage because you've got 10 what do you call it, 10 armor. Actually, you've got 10.4 armor, which means if you actually get Poor Man Shield, you would have 11 armor, and you would be like at something like 45% physical resistance, and that is that is not even taking into account the damage block, because after damage block and armor, like you're not taking any damage at all. So now you've started taking harass, and you're also taking right click damage from Juggernaut. Now understand this: if you would have Poor Man Shield or even just a Stout Shield, even Juggernaut's damage is less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your item build here is not helping you that much, and that's something that you can improve so easily, right? That's like the easiest thing to improve, because all you need to know is all you need is to know it once. That's it. Now you will never do that again. You will never make that mistake again, and you've already improved your MMR by at least 100 200 points. I hope. I'm sure. Right? So 1 point, number 1, extra regen in your lane. Going into your lane, get plenty of regen. Make sure that you account for the worst possible scenario, and you bring in lots and lots of regen. Where is your name? Let me refresh this page. Coaching. Nope. What's this? Coaching. This is you. All right. We are doing TB carry. Bring plenty of regen to lane. Number 2 point. What did we speak about? Yeah. Always start out with a stout shield as a melee carry. This is only on melee carries, because on ranged carries you don't expect to tank on the tower, you know. So it's actually easier. But and the other thing is, you know that damage block works on your illusions.
Mm, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so damage block works on your illusions. If you send your illusion to like tank a creep wave, it'll take less damage if you have a stout shield. So it allows you to farm jungle much quicker, and like it allows your illusions to stay longer in the jungle, and it basically allows you to farm the lane with your main hero and jungle with your illusion. Or if you feel like you're threatened in the lane, then you farm yourself, you farm in the jungle, and you send your illusion to farm the creep wave. And it's so beneficial for you as a Terrorblade. It is so good. You farm. It's the highest farming efficiency. But right now you're constantly using Conjure Image and you have no mana regen. So this is why the next item that you should have built should have been a some sort of mana regen. Well, the issue here is you really need the boots, and I like the fact that you did go for boots as your first item, simply because if the Lich Frost Novas you and Juggernaut starts spinning, you really rely only and only on Dazzle to let you live, because you have no movement speed. Especially if you don't have boots, you will just die. So this is excellent choice going for boots, but you really needed to have a stout shield to start off with, and it is really harming you right now. Anyway, moving forward, um, don't know what. So, what item do you think right now? Do you need? Let's ignore the fact that you. Let's pretend that you already had a stout shield. So, what item do you need right now, based on how you're playing?
Usually, I back two benches to decide if you're going for that thing I highlighted now, which is wand,
Okay.
or I go for Aquila.
Well, Aquila is the answer that I was looking for, because you're using up a lot of mana, right? You constantly using Conjure Image, and you can't sustain this, especially level 1 Conjure Image. Never on Terrorblade, never use Conjure Image at level 1, never use Metamorphosis at level 1. The only time you want to use Reflection at level 1 is if you can guaranteed get a kill, and you should always have Reflection at level 1. Simply because if you have a rune fight, I think it's almost always beneficial to have level 1 Reflection. If you're going gone on, if somebody's coming to get you, you can pop Reflection, and they're super slowed for 2.5 seconds. That's a lot. The damage they take is not that much, so we're just gonna ignore it. But 25% movement speed slow is pretty huge in the early levels. In a rune fight, this reflection is massive. This is only 20 damage, 20 extra damage. That's literally all it is. Just one extra creep hitting them. It's not that much. People get scared when they see metamorphosis happen. At level 1, you will need to understand level 1 metamorphosis is pathetic. So if you're playing against Terrorblade and you see a Terrorblade pop Metamorphosis level 1, just go and hit him. Don't be afraid. He's not doing that much damage to you. Obviously, he's doing more damage to you than you were doing to him. But I'm saying, like, if you have two people, then don't just both of you run away and be like, "Oh my God, he popped Metamorphosis. He's so strong." He's not. He really isn't. Level 1 Conjure Image, level 2 Conjure Image, even level 3, all the way up to level 3 Conjure Image, don't use it, because you're doing only 30 or 40% of your damage. You don't have that much damage. So you're not actually doing anything with it. So Conjure Image, you should only use Conjure Image to split your farm. So send your illusion to farm the jungle while you farm the lane, or you go to the jungle you to go to the jungle to farm, and you leave your illusion in lane to farm, or you use your illusion to stack. Now, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about stacking this game because I'm going to give you a lot of other points to work on. So stacking is not something we're going to talk about. What you're doing right now, you're using a conjure image to harass these guys. That's not required at all. You don't need to harass these guys, especially with so much of your precious mana. This guy can harass these guys. This guy should harass these guys. This guy should use his bloody poison touch every single time it comes off cooldown. You throw poison touch, then right click him a couple of times, and he's already like takes like 150, 200 damage for nothing at all because he's a melee hero. He can't even come and right click him. So that's his job. So if he's not doing his job, screw him. You know what? You can't do anything about it. It doesn't matter. But you just need to farm. You need to make sure that you have full HP, full mana. But you're not really utilizing the mistake you're making right here is that you're not really utilizing your mana properly.
Okay.
It's not a huge deal right now, but we're gonna see later on that it is gonna start becoming a huge deal.
Yeah. Thing is, in this lane now, I wasn't worried about fighting and using my skills a lot. I just like
Nice.
yeah, I just was trying to get alive,
Yeah.
or stay alive.
I like the fact that you recognize the kill opportunity and you took it. And this is move forward, right click, move forward, right click. Oh, so close, so close. He's
At the other,
he's
he got
gonna
away.
TP you away. That's fine. Very beautifully played, man. I honestly, I love it. You literally used it at the exactly the perfect scenario, perfect situation. You saw them committing for Dazzle. You saw them diving deep for Dazzle, and you used and you recognized that you had the damage and the like. This is almost perfectly played, dude. I love it. The only thing that I would have done differently here is instead of going for the Lich, I would have gone for the Juggernaut first because he is the carry. Firstly, he's the carry, so he's a bigger priority kill, and secondly, he has boots, so he would have run away later on. And this guy is not running away anywhere. So that's the one thing that you could have done differently. And second thing that you could have done differently, you know the path he's going to take. He's going to come. He has to go this way, right? So he's obviously not going to go this direction, right? He's gonna go in the towards his base, but as far away from you as possible. So he's gonna go in this direction. So what you should have done is recognize this, and you right click, move in this direction. Right click, move in this direction. So basically, you're trying to cut him off. And if you had done that, then I think you actually would have gotten a kill. And then
He tried to fight me.
yeah, he's such an idiot. But at this
How come
stage,
such a cape?
you sorry.
Uh, this is funny because you talked the lanes and they wait completely different, and you talk he was going to avoid me and he tried to fight me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of things you see in 2K, people don't do what you expected them to do.
Yeah, but that's what the thing is. Like, you're supposed to, you take advantage of that fact. Now, this is where the using the abilities comes down to. Yes, you got a kill, which was excellent, beautifully executed. There's some tweaking that you could have done, but it was very wonderfully executed, right? The issue right here, right now, is that now you are literally zero mana, right? You are almost zero mana. You have enough mana to just use reflection, and that's it. So now you're suffering. So what you need right now is immediately you need some mana regen. And also, if you look at your inventory, you have absolutely no mana regen, and you have absolutely no HP regen. Wand does not count. Wand is a surprise factor. Wand allows you to survive. Wand is a health regen and mana regen when you have somebody like a Bat Rider, somebody like a Bristleback, somebody who spams their spells in lane. That is the only time the Wand is a survival HP regen and mana regen. But right now you have no HP regen, no mana regen, and this is something I find very, very common in the 2K to 3K bracket, that people don't put any emphasis on regen. That's really bad. I don't know why that is. Like, you need to make sure that you are going to have maximum mana, maximum HP all the time. And if you run out of your regen, then you want to make sure that you get more regen. If you're not going for any sort of regen item, and Terrorblade doesn't go for any HP regen item, so Terrorblade just relies on a lot of tangos, a lot of salves, a lot of those things to be able to survive in lane. Actually, I recently thought about even going for an early Mask of Death, just for that extra regeneration. I mean, it's kind of a silly item on Terrorblade, but you can actually build it into a what's it called? Satanic later on. You know, um, except Satanic doesn't. It does stack with Scotty now, so you can actually it stacks with Scotty. It stacks with Scotty now. It's on ranged
Yeah.
heroes, right? I think it's just ranged heroes. I'm not sure. I need to check really, really quickly because I forgot. I haven't. It does not stack with other unique. Ayaskadi can be combined with lifesteal and attack modifiers, so it actually stacks fully, even on melee heroes, I guess. So you really need I'm just talking about that as in because TB doesn't build any sort of HP region, that item is so good. That item could be so good, but you do build one HP region item, and which that is a drums. So that's what I'm like telling you to do in your games, is to make drums. Now it is a very, very low HP region. It's just a 3 HP region, but it's something. You've already got a base 2.7 HP region, and with the drums, you're gonna have almost a 6 HP region, which is decent, which isn't too bad. Also, keep in mind you always have that. You always have the ultimate to get your HP back. Also, you've got a wand to get that surprise factor in. So I think with drums, you have plenty of HP region, and then later on into the game, you can think about going for a Helm of Dominator and Satanic. Actually, you know what? The more I think about this, just now, dude, talking to you, I'm thinking going for a Helm of Dominator early on Terrorblade isn't such a crazy idea, because then you can actually stack and you can farm the stacks. So, well, to be honest, that's actually a bad idea because you can always stack with your illusions. So no, never mind. I changed my idea.
Okay.
Uh, so right now you are suffering. You are playing defensively because you have no HP and no HP region. Now, small thing that is gonna change your life. I haven't noticed you doing it. Is creep aggro. Do you know how to creep aggro? You know what that is?
Yes.
So you haven't done that this whole game. And what creep aggro allows you to do is that it allows you to stay so far away from Rubik that he can't actually Nova you. So what you do is, as soon as this creep hits half HP or less than half HP, you just stand right here. It's 500 range, right? So from this area, it's about this much range, right? So you stand here, you right click the enemy, and then these three creeps are gonna move towards you. And what you do is you move further back, and these creeps actually get aggroed. They're gonna start hitting your range creep. And then what you can do is you can just farm these creeps standing here. What these three of your creeps are gonna do is they're actually gonna go back. They're gonna go over to this range creep, and then Rubik has to stay right here. So what you do is you're standing here, farming here. Rubik then has to stand here and farm here, and you've created this whole big barrier where neither of you are gonna cross it because you're gonna take damage from the creeps. And then Rubik doesn't want to come and frost nova you, most likely. And even if he does, at least you're taking free farm. But right now, what you're doing is when you go in for the last hit, you're not only gonna take right hit damage from these guys, but it's getting difficult to last hit. You couldn't get that last hit because of the harass. And also, every time you go in for the last hit, you take some damage and you put yourself into more and more dangerous position. Now you went for a Ring of Basilius. You recognize you have low mana region, and you went for the right item. I like it. This Rubik, this Dazzle, such an asshole. You used heal. There's a carry right next to him who's half HP. He uses the heal. He doesn't even get that much damage off of me. He just used the heal to get two last hits. Like,
Yeah,
he
he
could have
does this a
healed
lot.
you. So that's something you want to tell the guy very, very kindly. Like, dude, can you like heal me, please? You dipshit. Like, probably not with the dipshit part, but like, just tell him to heal you. Please heal me, dude. Look, I'm low HP. Please heal me. I have no HP regen. So nice micro. Oh, nice micro, dude. Except you're not hitting him with your with
I was trying to
your.
blocking. I
Okay.
wasn't trying to move to block.
Well, you could have right clicked him as well and done damage, but that's fine. Did Dazzle get the kill? TA got the
Uh,
kill. Alright, not too bad. Um, so far, your only issues in lane, you can improve your laning. by a ton if you creep aggro. Use creep aggro techniques to get better farm in your lane. Now, if you use creep aggro and you pull the creeps to a safe distance, believe me, you want to make this into a habit. This is the best thing I can teach you today. Creep aggro. You start doing creep aggro. You don't take harass from the offlaner. You get lots and lots of farm, much more farm. Look at this, 6 minutes in. You have had a 7 minutes in. Uh, you've had a fairly hard lane. Not that hard. Lich hasn't focused you too much. Okay, I'm actually not even going to bother with the last hits because this dumbass is taking all your last hits. So I'm actually not going to say anything about last hits to you. You're okay. It's a
Yeah,
big.
the thing is about my farming in the lane. I have a lot of games, really a lot of games, and like I pick Spectre, and I have one jungle, and I have one of lane, and the last guy goes Rick, and he goes to help bot
Yeah.
with the guy in the off lane instead of help me in
Mhm.
the top lane, and I
Mhm.
got alone with Spectre trying to farm. So I really don't pay that much attention right now to farming. I don't get mad if I lost less hits or
Mm.
don't go well because I use it to get wrecked in the early game.
Mm.
It's something that happened to me a lot. I don't even if I pick Medusa, my team gets me alone.
Yeah.
So I just don't care a lot about getting the perfect less hits right now.
I think you should. I think you definitely should care a lot more about getting more last hits. It is extremely important, especially when you pick these late game carries who rely heavily on farm. Like Terrorblade can't do jack without farm. Like he needs a lot of farm, a lot of farm. So you have to worry more about farm than you are worrying right now, right? You can't let the guy just come in and take your last hits like this. Now I want you to do something for me right now. Do you have Dota open?
Yes,
Can you do you know how to go into console?
yes,
Okay, can you go into the console and go type developer dash one? No, not dash, sorry, space. Developer one, like this,
yes, yes. I
right?
had.
And then type Dota underscore game
Yes.
underscore account
Not the
underscore
bug.
debug. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what the place you're looking for is this one right here. Player behavior score last report. Right.
Uh,
This is the thing that you're looking for right now.
Let me check. Last report. Yeah, it's 77985.
Yeah. So 7985 is extremely low. It is actually super low. So you need to bring this up to 9,000 or rather 9,500. This toxic MMR is one of the biggest reasons why you are getting these kind of dazzle guys who is taking all your farm, who basically assholes. Now this report, this player behavior last report, this is called toxic MMR. The way it works is if you are 2.3k MMR, right? You're 2.3k
Yeah.
MMR. So you are being matched up with other people who are 2.3k MMR but also are 7,000. What did you say? 7,600?
7985.
7,900. So you're matched up with other people who are 2.3k MMR and are also 7,900 toxic MMR, roughly, plus minus 100, 200, whatever. So what it means is that you're being matched up with 2.3k people who are toxic people or who are getting reported a lot. And usually people who are getting reported a lot, they're toxic people. They're doing something wrong, right? They're taking carries last hits. They are picking stupid heroes. They're picking junglers and not coming out of the jungle for 20 minutes. They're screaming in the microphone. They're aggressive, angry people. Flaming a lot, things like that. So you need to bring your toxic MMR up, and that is the first thing you need to do. You should stop playing ranked games, or even if you do want to play ranked games, just play supports. Play very very play heroes who they don't really. come into the limelight too much. Just stay in the back, just like salve up people, put down the wards, just don't talk in the mic at all. If somebody's flaming someone, just mute them because they're probably going to start flaming at you and they're going to make you angry as well. What you need to do is you need to not get reports. You need to bring this toxic MMR up to 9,000, 9,500, and that is when you will start having better teammates. That is when you will actually be able to play better as well. Because right now, you can't actually play good because your teammates are going to be like, look at this right now, this game. This Dazzle has got 11 last hits. 11 last hits means that he at least messed up 11 more of your last hits by attempting last hits, right? So
Yeah.
you've got 18 last hits. This could have easily been 40, 45 last hits if this Dazzle hadn't screwed up 20 of your last hits, right? Also, if this Dazzle had been doing his job, healing you up, if he'd been harassing the carry or offlane or whatever, if he'd been doing anything at all in this game, you would have had a much, much better early game. You would have had more items. You would have probably had a full Aquila and a Treads by now. But you don't because of that guy. Simply because of that guy, you're suffering super hard. Obviously, you could have done a lot about that if you had been last hitting better, if you'd had stout shield, if you'd had a poor man shield, if you'd had more regen, etc., etc. Like right now, you're completely out of regen, and you have to play safe. Yeah, you can't play close to a lich, and now you have to TP all the way back because you don't have regen. Now, instead of doing that, you should have ferried out a salve or tango and a salve and a clarity or something like that. You should have ferried them out on the courier because it's better to spend that gold on regen, bring them out over to you while you stay in lane and get the XP and try to get some farm as well instead of going all the way back to base, miss out 2 creep waves worth of golden XP, and then just come back to the lane with full HP, and you still didn't get any HP or mana regen items when you come back. And I can bet you will see within the next 3 to 4 minutes, you're gonna get a lot of harass again, and you're gonna end up with like a real like Queen of Pain blinks in and screams of pain, and then that's it. Suddenly you're half HP again. You went back to base at half HP nearly, and you're gonna be half HP again, right? So let's see. Scream. She didn't scream within range. See, so you were able to survive here without taking a single shred of damage because your enemy is bad. And you still haven't taken any damage. It didn't bounce to you or anything like that. You're so lucky.
Yeah, people try to focus the wrong guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they're focusing the person with the refraction, right? It's called refraction. Yeah. So they're focusing the guy with refraction, but look at you right now. You're okay. Now it's a different story because you do have ultimate, so you can ult a full HP person and turn it around. But regardless, you're in. Okay, now you're full HP again because somebody has mech.
Yeah, now was the time I didn't have refraction. I told people to get back and just forgot them and went back to because I
Yeah,
know
you mean Sunder?
people will attack. Yeah. No,
So
I mean Metamorphosis. Yeah. I
metamorphosis.
know.
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Your decision here was fine, perfect. I like your decision. The only mistake you're making still is the fact that number one, you have no regen. Number two, you've got plenty of gold. You still haven't got treads. You are super undervaluing treads. You need treads. You really, really need treads. You can keep treads on strength. They have huge burst coming from here. 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 There are 4 bursty people. This is the game that you're gonna need BKB. And early on, you need as many strength stats as possible. You need to buy treads and you want to keep them on strength because you want to be able to have as much HP so that you're actually able to pull off Sunder. Because if these guys jump on you and they nuke you, you're not gonna be able to use Sunder because you're gonna just die so quickly. Queen of Pain, that's 290 pure damage plus an immediate scream of pain, which is about 250. So that's 550. That's nearly 600 damage right there, just from Queen of Pain. And then on top of that, Mirana blinks in and she starstorms roughly at the same time. You're dead in 1 second. You're not even gonna get time to start casting your Sunder by the time you're actually gonna die. So you are undervaluing treads a lot, and you're not playing defense. You're not you what I've noticed in your game so far is that neither have you had any defensive items, nor have you really played in a very in a super defensive manner. You haven't died, but you like the enemy team hasn't really focused you. So the positioning that you've had was always, not always, was in many places very dangerous, and you should have been bursted down really quickly, and you should have died. But because the enemy team didn't focus you at all, you were able to live every single time. Um, this movement, what you just did, the enemy, this guy died, so you move back. This is how you should be playing, especially noticing your inventory. You have no HP regen. You should be playing very safe. Don't even consider Dazzle is there. He hasn't healed you. He doesn't want to heal you. He's probably never going to grave you either. So Dazzle and your combination is so good because you can literally sunder people from zero HP, literally zero HP. He can grave you, and that's it. Boom, sunder, full HP all of a sudden. That's you can't count on that, especially not in the 2.3k bracket. You need HP regen. You need treads. You need more HP. You need to be able to survive. You need stats very much. Now, this is once again, you've been here in this lane for so long and you haven't been farming. Last time we checked your CS, it was at 7 minutes and you had 18 CS. Now, 5 minutes later, you've only had 4 more CS, and that's because this lane has been under attack constantly. And what there's two things that you 100% should have done, right? And this is why you are underperforming as a carry. That's why when we looked at your carry games, your gold, your GPM is low. This is why your item progression is really slow, because you're sticking in this lane. You feel like this is your lane and you're staying in this lane. That's not true. That's far away, as far from the truth as possible. At this stage, not even at this stage, 5 minutes ago, when you saw 3 people here, you had two choices. Your first choice was to go to the jungle, and that was your first choice. That's what you should have done first. You go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. You check the time. It's 000. You start going here, here, here. You just stick in the jungle. You stay in the jungle until you see a safer lane. Or number two choice, you go and you make sure that there's a safe lane to farm, and you TP there. Like, I don't know what the situation was 5 minutes ago, but if the situation was like that right now, if I was you, I would have TP'd right here. I would have TP'd here. I would have farmed these camps. I would have sent my illusion right here, and I would have myself walked over here, started farming this while I farmed this with illusion. Then I would have made my way over to my jungle and made another illusion, sent that illusion to the lane. I'm looking at the jungle while I'm farming the lane with my illusion. Right? That's what I should be. That's what you should be doing. But you actually can't do that. You know why? Because you don't have a poor man's shield. So you actually can't really farm jungle very well, because you're going to start losing a lot of HP. You have no HP regen and you have no damage block really. You have 18 physical resistance, which amounts to 52% damage reduction, but that's still 50% damage that you are taking. So, God, this dazzle. So you really need to have that Kurban shield, because it does allow you to farm jungle so much faster. So right now, once again, you're in this lane. Yeah, go ahead. You're about to say something?
Yeah, to think about this, what you just said now,
Mm-hmm.
this is somehow the legacy about being support. I know what you're saying is right, but I think it's like a jack move. You leave your team alone and you go just focusing farming. And as a previous support, I think it's the kind of jerk. So I try
Mm-hmm.
not to do this. I know it's right, but I don't feel right doing this. So I kind of refuse to doing this.
Hey.
Sometime before, I played like really try hard, and I just muted everyone in the beginning of the game, and I was
Mm.
like, I want to do the right thing. I don't care if they complain, and I used to do things, kind of things. But as I said, this kind of things didn't pay off. I didn't get better. I feel like I got better, but the game didn't say so. So I kind of
The
forgot
game,
doing these
the
things.
game didn't say so because you didn't get MMR.
Yeah,
That takes time. That takes a lot of time. First of all, as I said, the first thing that you really need to do is get your toxic MMR up. Terror, or Terrorblade. Get your farm up. That's the first thing that you need to do. Second thing that you need to do is forget about the supports, forget about how they feel, forget about being an asshole. That's not what you need to. You're not going into Dota to make people, give people the best day of their life. There's this video that I sent to you. This is Bren. He plays a killer Terrorblade. Watch his game, watch how he farms super efficiently. He's always farming the jungle as well as the lane. He will farm both the lane waves in 1 minute, in one entire minute. He will farm almost all 8 out of 8 creeps in the lane, and he'll farm most of the jungle camps as well. That is super efficiency right there. Not 4 creeps, 5 creeps, because by that time there's 5 creeps. So you want to learn how to do that. You want to practice that in a custom lobby. After I watched that Brand game, I tried that like 5 or 6 times. I got good at it, and I played it in my pub, and I completely destroyed the pubs playing Terrorblade. And that is something that you need to do when you see a lane being contested. When you see 3 people, 4 people suddenly in your lane, you go to the off lane, you go to the mid lane, you jump out to the jungle, you go somewhere else, you avoid this entire area. This spot right here, this is the plague. This is where the rats are with the plague. You want to avoid this area at all costs. You don't want anything to do with this area. You want to run away. You don't give a shit what's happening. And this is the issue with playing heroes like Terrorblade, heroes like Anti-Mage, because the only way to play these heroes is to farm until you have your important items up. You cannot take a single fight until you have Treads, until you have Aquila, until you have Manta. Treads plus Aquila plus Manta, and really it's when you have Treads, Aquila, and Manta, that's when you can first take a small skirmish. That's not even when you can take a team fight. You still can't take a team fight. You don't have enough to take a team fight. You are a pushing hero. You're not a team fighting hero. Terrorblade does not team fight super well. Terrorblade pushes towers really well. When you see a team fight happening somewhere, TP somewhere else. Push a tower. Take a tower. It's better that you take a tower because you will take it so quickly. It's better that you take a tower than you go into a team fight. You right click people a few times, you get a kill, and then you die. It's better that you take a tower than you do that. And also you you will farm a shit ton faster. So don't worry about being an asshole. What you're doing right now in this lane, like I'd love to just break it down, stop here, and show you how much farm you're missing. But unfortunately, I can't, because the Dazzle is the one who's actually taking all your farm. If I was you, the moment Dazzle started taking my farm, I would have bought an Iron Talon, and I would have simply gone to the jungle, because it would have benefited me more to go to the jungle than sit there and contest my farm with Dazzle. In fact, I had a game very, very recently. I had a Sven game, and there was this is a 5k game, by the way, almost a 5k game. I had a disruptor who was literally contesting my farm as a Sven. As soon as I got my Helm of Dominator, I abandoned my lane. I just went to the jungle. Yes, I get less farm, but what's the point when I'm not even getting farm it's not really less farm, because I'm actually not getting any farm in the in my lane. If I'm getting 2 out of 4 last hits, what's the point? I can actually get more farm in the jungle. So, Sunder, perfect. Reflection, too late. Right. So that's what I meant with being bursted down. Look how quickly and easily you got bursted down by the Queen of Pain. Like, you sundered, but then Queen of Pain came in, bursted you, called you once, not called, what's it called? Scream of Pain, one, Sonic Wave, second, right click, and that's it, you're dead. I don't
Yeah.
think she even right clicked you. I think she just Scream of Pain and so that's why you really super important you get some stats, and this goes to show you how good Terrorblade is in team fights. He's not very strong in team fights, especially without items. Imagine if this whole time you'd been pushing this lane, or you'd been farming here or in the jungle. You wouldn't have died here. You wouldn't have lost so much gold. You would have gotten so much gold. You would have had a Yasha plus halfway down to your ultimate orb by now. If you'd just been at 7 minutes in, you would have abandoned the lane and just gone in and started farming constantly.
Yeah. There was what other thing I noticed in this bracket. People like they have like 5 or 4 heroes in the bottom line for the last 5 minutes. and people
Yeah.
don't take the chance to push the other lanes to make them go away. They we see all the enemy team is bottom, so let's go bottom to fight instead of going top to push or mid.
Hmm.
So yeah, and if I stay bot, I I will, I will end up fighting you as well
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
everyone is bot.
Yeah. So being bought really isn't benefiting you at all. If you see some people bought, if you know when you saw four people bought, as soon as you saw four people bought, you should have TP'd here. You could have used metamorphosis to take down a tier two tower right here. Even if they take your tier one, who gives a shit when you can take a tier three? Sorry, tier two. And if one person comes to TP, that's where Terrorblade can take that fight. 1v1. Terrorblade will even at early levels, Terrorblade will destroy them because what you can do is actually bait them out. You just keep pushing the tower, keep pushing the tower. You go half HP or less than half HP. Boom! You sunder in, you reflection, you make another illusion. You right click him 3 or 4 times, he's dead. So that's where you shine. If for example they actually stop pushing and all four of them TP, you simply run away. That's it. Simple as that. And suddenly you've made sure that these four people who were pushing here, they've stopped pushing. You've done a ton of damage to the tower. You've made four people TP. You made four people rotate, and they're not even gonna get anything because you're fast and you're gonna run away. You're smart. You're
Yeah,
fast. You're gonna run away.
I actually did this in one Terrorblade game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Is the game I lost before the elder between the Elder Titan and the Necrophos?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do this and it worked somehow, but we got mega and we couldn't leave the base and I couldn't do it anymore.
Mm. Well, I'm not saying like do that all the time. There needs to be, you need to know when you have to not when you have to go and fight, and the time you have to go and fight is when you have enough items to do so, and usually that comes when you have two items, two big tier one items, which is usually going to be Manta plus Skadi. That's when you can fight. But in this particular game, I think this game you go for Manta plus BKB and then you fight because this guy will shred you. This guy will shred you. This guy will shred. Well, this guy shreds you even through BKB. So this guy will shred you, and this guy is a complete menace to you without BKB because he's just gonna slow the shit out of you, and he's just gonna slowly kill you with poison. So you really need BKB this game, and until you get BKB, you wanna avoid all fights, and that's the correct way to play. And if you keep playing that way, you will win 55 to 60% of your games. You're not gonna win 100% games, but you will win 55 to 60% of your games, and you will start increasing your MMR. This is a habit that you've gotten into. This style of playing. This is not the correct way of playing. This is the way you're playing. The way you're playing. This is, I'm gonna keep my team happy. Your team is not gonna be happy if you're losing, dude. So you've played 3,000 hours, almost 3,000 games, right? So now you've gotten into this habit where you think you need to help your team, you need to be with your team. If a team fight is happening, you feel the need to be there with your team, and this is going to be a really, really hard habit to get out of, playing carry. So but you have to get out. You have to work on it. You have to get out of this habit. Playing Terrorblade is a really easy way to do it because Terrorblade pushes so fast. But the thing is that you will lose games. I think earlier on you're going to lose more games than you're going to win. But after about 10 games or something like that, you start to understand what the balance is. There needs to be a balance between team fighting and pushing. You need to understand, okay, I'm not strong enough. I'm actually not going to be able to do anything in this team fight. All I can do is push. So you go and push. And then there'll come a point where you're like, okay, now I have some big items and the enemy team doesn't have that much to get me or lock me down or kill me or burst me because I have enough mana, enough HP, enough survivability. Now I can actually stand in team fights and fight. So that's when you say, all right, I'll keep a TP, I'll start pushing or some doing farming or whatever, and as soon as the team fight breaks out, that's it. I'm gonna TP in and I'm gonna help my team in the team fight. But until that point, you cannot. Brown boots and Yasha, this is not the time you can fight. This is the time you can only feed. Like right
Yeah,
here, what you're doing, this is a big mistake. And I honestly don't think this is gonna pay off for you because
I think Daisy is behind me.
sorry?
I went because Daisy is behind me, or was
Yeah,
behind me.
Dazzle is way too far away. These two are both nukers. They will nuke the shit out of you before you have the chance to say hello. So what you should also You're going on these two people without any. There is vision here, but it's underneath the tower, so anybody in their team can actually TP and suddenly contribute in this fight. And Sunder, nice. Wow, it's actually going to work out for you because nobody TP'd at all in their team. You lived.
The
You
thing
not
is,
only not
yeah,
only did you
Visage.
live, yeah.
Now I remember why I went that way. The guy who's playing Visage, he's like the most manic guy I ever played with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Then he was like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go," and you have to go or we will get mad. So that's why I went. If you look at
Uh,
him, he's almost dead, and he's keep going.
Yeah, you need to not listen to these kind of people. You have to, if you have somebody like that, you need to mute them. All right. If you have somebody like that, listen to them until you realize this guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Okay. Leaders are good, but idiot leaders, blind leaders are worse than not having any leader at all. If that kind of person comes in your game, mute him and listen to your own self. Listen to your gut feeling. You know how strong you are. That idiot does not know how strong you are. That idiot doesn't even know how to play Terrorblade, or maybe not even how to play Dota. You know how to play Dota. You know how to play Terrorblade. You know exactly what your strengths and weaknesses are. You need to look at the fight, assess the situation, look at the enemy's items, be like, okay, Juggernaut has not got any items. Cop has not got any items. None of them has any items. Can I fight? Or can I not fight? Should I be pushing a tower or should I be fighting? You need to be the one making that decision, not the bloody third person off lane guy. Like right now, you're being very, very dangerous. Like Hop could have potentially killed you.
Yeah, this is exactly I think the worst, my worst problem
Yeah.
about that kind of decisions, and I
Mhm.
think that's why I'm bad with the snowballers.
I'll tell you something,
And
dude. I'll tell you something. At the start of every
yeah,
single game, I want you to mute every single person in your team. I want you to play 10 games like that. You're going to, first of all, as we've already discussed, you are going to increase your toxic MMR. I don't know how you're going to do it. The way I do it is I play unranked games, I play support. I mind my own business. I pick heroes like Dazzle, Omni Knight. I heal people. I give people salves. I put wards down. Nobody says anything to me. I don't get reported. But if you, and that's something you can do to increase your toxic MMR as well. But what I want you to do definitely is mute all people in your games when you play carry, when you play Terrorblade, when you play Spectre, when you play these games. Probably not Spectre because you need your team to tell you to actually no. Even when you play Spectre, because your team is going to be Spectre ulti, and it's going to be the worst situation possible. You're going to ulti, and it's going to be directly into like a huge, RP or what do you call it, ravage or something like that, and you're going to die. So you need to always look at the situation before you start trusting your teammates. Wait till you're like in the 4K or more, and then you can start trusting your teammates a little bit. Even like me, I just today I was like, God damn it, I need to stop trusting my teammates because I got screwed over because I trusted my teammates. So you really need to make your own decisions and assess the situation yourself. Mute everybody in your game and play that way and see how it goes. And that's my best advice to you. Looking at your play style, you play really well. You understand your hero well. You've made some very basic mistakes in the early game with your item build, especially, and using a conjure image constantly, which really didn't pay off. That's the conjure image thing is not that big a deal. It's really the item build which is big. The item build, one big issue, item build. Number two big issue, um, staying around, not doing anything in the lane. When you, as soon as you see people, avoid them. Go to a different lane and farm. That's number two. Number three, stop listening to your teammates when they say go in, go in, go in. Assess the situation yourself and fight based on what you think is best, because you need to know that you are better than your entire team and entire enemy team, and that is the only way you win MMR. If you know, in this bracket, if you know you are better than everybody else, you need to play better than everybody else. You need to mute whoever thinks that they know better than you. If they tell you, no, you're doing it wrong, do it this way, mute them. They don't know shit, right? They're still in the 2.3 KMMR and they're probably playing worse than you, most likely. Because I've seen your gameplay and I think you're better. You're quite a good player, but you are making the big mistake of listening to other people and not following your own instinct and your own gut feeling. So
and
definitely
yeah,
need to
yeah.
change your playstyle. And also items, you're doing, you're item build is really bad, actually. You still haven't gotten treads. Treads is huge. Any carry, you need to upgrade boots. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You always want to upgrade boots. The extreme rare exceptions on, I don't think there is any carry that you skip out boots on. Literally no carry. Upgrade boots always. Probably, if not the first thing, then the second thing. Maybe you can go Aquila first and then upgrade boots, but you want to upgrade boots first. That's it. And then second thing is you are like haphazardly, you made Yasha and now you're skipping out Manta and going BKB. You really need BK Manta first. You can dodge so many things with Manta. You can dodge Queen of Pain has silence. You really, really needed Manta by this time because you can dodge the silence. You can avoid getting too much damage from Juggernaut's ult if you Manta. If you Manta right, you can avoid the Starstorm damage. You can avoid the Gale. You can't avoid this. Actually, I think you can't even avoid the Gale because it's really, really small. But you can avoid the. Can you avoid the Frost Nova? You can't avoid the Frost Nova as well because it's real time. And I'm not sure you can avoid Chain Frost because it's going to bounce even more and more and more. So it's probably not a good idea to use Manta when you get Chain Frost coming at you. But you can definitely, for the silence, is extremely important. And then after Manta, then you can go BKB. I think that's what I said earlier on as well. So let's see. You popped Metamorphosis way too early, way, way too early. Remember that you actually walk slower when you look at this. You had 388 movement speed, and you popped Metamorphosis, and you suddenly have 361 movement speed. So Metamorphosis decreases your movement speed by 25. 25 movement speed is a lot. You could have come all the way here, actually even further. You could have popped. Popped Reflection and then used Metamorphosis. You would have been closer to them. They would have all been slowed, and then you would have killed them as well. So right now, all you get is a Mirana. You could have gotten a Lich as well, and possibly Juggernaut. Well, not Juggernaut, because he would have spun and he would have ran away anyway. So you could have gotten Lich as well. So you played that wrong a little bit.
Yeah, just a few things about you to say now. The first thing, this is season 2.3 MMR because we are playing with friends and they have like 3.5. So I think it's kind of higher, but it's a normal game. This is not a ranked game. The second thing about the brown boots is usually I want to do this with Terrorblade, but I stay with brown boots until I decide if you're gonna play a split push game or a fighting game. So I just save it to see if I'm going brown boots or if I'm going
TP boots.
Yeah.
Listen, the thing is that the stats you get from treads are really, really good. They are actually really good. Even if you're gonna go TP boots, you're not gonna go TP boots like this. Not with just a Yasha. The earliest you can go TP boots is if you have a Manta plus one more item, whether it be a BKB or whether it be a Skadi. Right? If you have Manta plus Skadi, then you can go TP boost. But that's usually going to happen at around 30-35 minutes. You can't walk around for 35 minutes with brown boots. You want to have treads. And then even after that, you can drop down TP scroll and you can get TP boots. So you're going to have treads as well as TP boots. You can look at any of my previous games. Any game that I've got TP boots on, I will always have two pairs of boots. If it's a phase boots, I will still have phase boots. If it's treads, I will still have treads because the value for those is too great. And then once you complete your next item, that's when you sell your other boots and you trade them out for the item that you make. So you do need treads. Doesn't matter. You need to survive the first 30-35 all the time up until.
This is an important thing. Look.
Yeah.
This is important. Jug screwed up pretty bad.
Oh wow, nice kill. That's great.
Yeah.
Baited.
Just want to cash on, but you talked before about muting people and doing what I think is right. This is a problem about that toxic rating I got. Because if I just mute people and got away do my own things, I think people will report me. So I want to be getting better report score.
That's why I actually said that first you need to get your toxic MMR up. That's why you have to play like support. You're not going to mute people if you're playing support because then you actually need to stay with your cores. You need to stick with your cores. You need to coordinate with them. You need to ask them what do you want. Let's go here. Let's not go here. Do this. Do that. So when you're playing support, then obviously you need to have coordination, and you need to have voice chat and all that. But I'm talking about when you're playing carry. Once you get your toxic MMR up and you do start playing carry, or even if you want to practice Terrorblade, because probably after all you've learned with me right now, you probably want to practice Terrorblade a little bit.